Hello, welcome to Casual Veteran Gamer. In the video today I'm going to be showing you how I handle the Githyanki fight. This is a difficult fight, and the Githyanki have been buffed so they're more difficult to kill than they were before. And this is a very uneven fight. We're level 4, they're level 5, they've got way more hit points, they've pretty much all got Misty Step, they've got Action Surge, Invisibility Potions. It is not an easy fight, so we need to do everything we can to even the odds. What I'm about to go through is of course not the only way of doing this, it's just the way that I did it. First off, I'm going to go through all of the characters that I've got. So I've got Tavlok, my own Warlock. Level 4 Warlock. At level 4 I boosted his Charisma up to 18. Tiefling, that doesn't really come into this battle. I took Repelling Blast and Agonizing Blast to do maximum damage and to be able to push enemies around. Currently got Armor of Agathis casted on him, and I took a short rest afterwards, so he's got both spell slots and he's got Hex. Across all my characters I've still got quite a few consumables, and this is the sort of fight you want to be using consumables on. Next up I've got Lae'zel, and in fact I'm going to have to send Lae'zel back to camp before this fight starts, otherwise she runs down and she gets into trouble. She has got the Everburn Blade from Commander Zulk, the Bracing Band, so if she shoves she gets 1 extra armor class, and the Ring of Colour Spray. Made her a Battlemaster, took Trip Attack, Disarming Attack and Menacing Attack. If these work, they are really helpful, especially Disarming Attack for the melee attackers. I've got Gale, given the intellect, or the Warped Headband of Intellect. At level 4, since he's got this Warped Headband, I took the Magic Initiate Feat Warlock to give him Hex. He also took a couple of cantrips, they're not really that important in this battle. What is really important, at least the way I play through this, is Flaming Sphere. Scorching Ray also does a decent amount of damage, Magic Missile is your consistent damage, and towards the end Sleep can make sure you can finish these guys off. I'm not going to be using Fog Cloud probably, it's kind of a... well, I guess what I'm going to be doing is cheesy, but I don't want to be using Fog Cloud because I've done that more than enough times. For Shadowheart, I've got her with Scale Mail Armor +1, which I bought from the Druid's Grove. For her spells, Guiding Bolt, very important. Healing Word, good for getting people up if they come down. Inflict Wounds, in case the Githyanki come nice and close to her, she can use this to do decent amounts of damage. She's already cast Aid on the group, so they've all got 5 extra hit points. Can't use Prayer of Healing inside the battle. Oh, just give myself blindness, I probably won't be using that. Bless. And her Invoke Duplicity will be coming in useful here. I've also got the Conjured Imp, who is invisible. So before we start, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to send Lae'zel back to the camp. So make sure either the group is split up or she's separated from the group. Fast travel her to camp. So as much as possible you want to be fighting from up here and probably not standing too close to the edge because you might get shoved off, which deals a significant amount of damage, and in fact we're probably going to be trying to shove them off one way or another back down below. Now first thing I'm going to do is initiate combat. Not going to be very fair. In fact I'm going to get my Warlock to cast an Eldritch Blast. Just don't use any resources. If you're lucky, get a critical hit. Just going to skip through this. I'll probably heal actually before we get into the fight. Because we're out of combat, they tend to heal up, yeah. So in fact, I'm not going to use Eldritch Blast again. I'm going to get Gale to use Flaming Sphere. This is probably one of the more important parts of this combat. So off the dragon goes. Now this is probably just as cheesy as using barrels, because what happens is all the Githyanki are in combat, but they're just fighting the Flaming Sphere, which is invulnerable to damage. Nothing can happen to it. And they will start using up some of their more impressive moves. They might use the Action Surge, for example, South Breather. They might use that Misty Step. So you could potentially kill these one by one by using a few different Flaming Spheres, but that does get a little bit tedious. So using a Potion of Invisibility, but because she didn't move, she comes out of invisibility. So what we're doing is using up all of their kind of more impressive abilities. I don't know why he did that, to be honest. That didn't happen when I practiced this fight. So I'm not going to just sit here and use the flaming sphere. It's actually time to get the rest of the party into the fight. So it's time to bring back Lae'zel with her flaming sword in her hand. Right, fast travel, leave camp. And then, just because this will be a free hit, well, it's actually not guaranteed to hit, but it is nice. I'm going to get the imp to try and use Sting on South Baretha. I was lucky, I got a critical hit. That is something about this whole fight, is you could get lucky, you could get unlucky. So since it is the Flaming Sphere's turn, what we're going to do,
no one back home will ever believe this.
as best we can,
Everyone else minds their business, I'll be fine.
is bring all our characters into combat one by one. Now I could have used Hex. I'm hoping that we can deal enough damage to maybe kill South Baretha. It's not certain. But what has happened is everyone is in combat now. And it is the Flaming Sphere's turn. And you really, really want to, as much as possible, focus on one Githyanki at a time. If you don't, you're spreading your damage around and you're getting 4 potentially very, very major attacks against you. Now they might know that we're here. They are fairly good at doing this, right? They heal each other with healing potions. She's thankfully used her action surge. If she is next to you in melee range with action surge, it is deadly. She can easily take out one of your characters. From here, all you want to really be doing is using ranged attacks. If you're lucky, they'll come up to you one at a time, but you could get 2 up with you at any one time. And you've got various options now. I would say this is definitely a battle, would have said it, to use consumables. Potion of Speed is generally a good idea. Unfortunately for the Warlock, that means the bonus action has been used. But we can still get 2 Eldritch Blasts out. Of course, you could use any other spell you want to. You don't have to be using just Eldritch Blast and Hex. But it's what the Warlock is good at. Also, with Repelling Blasts, it sends them further away. Might force them to use a dash instead of an attack. So after attacking from the edge, really, really make sure you do walk back. It will force them to move a bit. And then do as you please. I would leave the Flaming Sphere down there. Which means, although I have given Gale Hex, I'm not going to use it until maybe somewhere towards the end of the battle. I'll probably use 1 Scorching Ray now. Will I? Oh, it's difficult. One of the reasons for taking Hex is to use Scorching Ray with it, because each Ray will proc Hex. So maybe I won't. I will do a low amount of damage, but it's guaranteed.
Tormentor.
And he could have used maybe a potion, thrown down some sort of bomb or other consumable item. I have got the spider egg. I'm not going to use it. I killed the ogres, so I can't use Lump's Warhorn. And while the Flaming Sphere and actually while the Imp are in range, they will focus on these two because they are what they can actually attack. Could have used the Imp at any point, but the idea is that the Imp will die and it will take up one of their actions. Or at least one of their attacks at the very minimum. So then we come to Shadowheart. What is she going to be doing? This is the sort of fight where you want to be using up all your resources. We have enough food, enough supplies to have the sort of time where we'll have a sort of battle. Shadowheart is going to be using up all her resources because we generally have enough supplies that there are some battles that we can really focus all of our spells onto the enemies. She's going to use Guiding Bolt. If it hits, there's a decent amount of damage. 10, okay, it could have been better, but I'm not too disappointed with that. And again, I could think about using a potion of speed with Shadowheart. I might wait until one of them comes up before I use another potion of speed. Githyanki Raider's invisible. So I have been focusing on South Paretha, but now I've got to make a choice of, do I carry on focusing on her because she's nearly dead? Or do I focus on the guy who's up on the platform, up on the bridge? This is the reason for being up on the bridge, is it takes them a while to get up. It wouldn't be a bad idea right now if she makes it, but to have destroyed this bridge. So here comes Lae'zel. Now Tavlok is in everyone's in a bit of trouble when these guys are close. So this would probably be a good time to use Action Surge. Now I don't have advantage, which is a bit disappointing for myself. Because what I really want to be doing is disarming this raider. The weapon's on the floor. Now, she doesn't have... do you know what? If you can knock down their weapon, you should go pick it up. So at the moment, it might seem a bit... I'm not doing any damage, so it might seem like it's a slight waste. But I'm going to dash to pick up this weapon. Otherwise, they'll probably pick it up. But now without that weapon, she will not be doing very much damage at all. And we've got Shove. Slightly 65% chance, you know, it's definitely worth it. Improves the armor class. Didn't quite knock them off, but can't win everything. Probably get a step towards South Paretha. Could be a mistake, but we'll find out. So Tav here has got 2 Eldritch Blasts. Now because we hit South Paretha with Guiding Bolt, which is one of the reasons of using Guiding Bolt, she's got 2 hit points left. I should have used, it's a mistake, I should have used Hex actually. Because that can happen, which is a bit annoying. Oh well. Just going to attempt to shove, it might not work. If it does, it's great. If it doesn't, well, probably haven't lost too much. Alright, this is why we take Magic Missile. A bit out of range, gonna have to get a little bit closer. We're going to have killed our first Githyanki. Close enough, not quite. Now she's only got 2 hit points. Each magic missile does 1d4 plus 1, so it only needs to send 1 magic missile her way. And then the other 2 will be on the Githyanki Raider. Sorry, I kind of moved a bit out of the way there. So they're generally leaving the Flaming Sphere alone now. But that Flaming Sphere brought us, I don't know how many turns it was, but more than enough. Right, I think it's time for Shadowheart to use a Potion of Speed, because right here, she's not going to be able to do very much herself, very much damage standing this close. And this is an ideal time to use her Channel Divinity, Invoke Duplicity, because if any more of them come up in this direction, we will be getting advantage on our attacks. Now she's still got 3 level 1 spell slots. Perfect. Alright. Inflict Wounds is a really good spell. And we are going to take damage. Ooh, that was a bit silly of it. We're not going to get out of this undamaged. Okay, that was a mistake putting him up there, because... So he's come up, and he's within the range of Invoke Duplicity, which is one of the reasons why Shadowheart's... Well, it's not Shadowheart, it's the fact that she's a Trickery Domain Cleric. That's... Actually, they're not as bad as they were previously. So that Githyanki Raider is nearly dead. I really want to be attacking that Githyanki Raider. So first thing to do is attempt to push this Gith down. 2 reasons. It increases her armor class by 1. And if it worked, it would be really good. Like I said before, we can't win every roll. Now, question is, what are we going to do to do 8 hit points of damage? Oh, she's got loads of hit points. Right, I'm going to take the opportunity attack. I wouldn't normally advise doing that, but it seems like essentially it'll be worth it. I didn't actually get the attack there. I'll have a second chance. Now, 8 hit points. Am I guaranteed to kill? 2d6 plus 4 plus 1d4. So 3. I have to be exceptionally unlucky not to kill them. Definitely worth it. Now, they've already had one opportunity attack. So we can now run past this Gith as many times as we want. Alright. Time for the Warlock to do his thing. Just double checking. I haven't actually cast Hex yet. Bit of a mistake. And with Repelling Blast. Good thing I used the Potion of Speed earlier. I would really advise you have at least one character use a Potion of Speed. Knocking them down from up here does insane amounts of damage. 27. Pretty much way more than I can do consistently with most other abilities and skills. So we've got a Raider and a Githyanki Gish. Now the Flaming Sphere has gone, he lost concentration. So now's the time to use Hex. It might seem a bit over the top using Scorching Ray. Oh, I can't quite see him there. This is a bit of a risk standing right at the edge. So using Scorching Ray 3 times, but I really want to kill the Githyanki if I can. Now it's 4 on 1, and it doesn't really stand much of a chance. I'll still take some damage, who knows, someone might even get downed. And with Hex, if you can, like I just did, I cast Hex, but then because I killed the creature, I'm not concentrating on it, so I can't lose the ability to reapply Hex. Now, one downside to using the Potion of Speed is it only lasts for 3 turns, and after that we're going to be lethargic, so do be careful. Oof. Okay. So at some point, so who's this? Shadowheart, still got 2 turns remaining, which is good. Now I've got to see what position she can get in. It's only a 50% chance to hit. It's not very good, actually. So what I'm going to do instead, because it's going to take ages for that guy to get here, he'll probably just stay there shooting at us. So this is probably a very good time to use Bless. Use it at level 2, so everyone gets the Bless. So then with her second action, 6% chance to hit this guy, and if I hit, next attack has advantage. It's a miss. Oh well, it happens. Still got a bonus action. I don't really feel like she needs it, but she should probably hide so she doesn't get targeted. Now Lae'zel. Now unfortunately, I was going to say, you know, using disarming attack here would be nice, but he'd probably just pick it up on his turn. I don't think I could get there in time. So, I'm going to use menacing attack, because if this works, essentially takes a turn away. Is he frightened? No, sadly not frightened. He passed his saving throw, but that's okay. And can I shove anything? Because if I can, that should increase my armor class by 1. Yeah. So if you've got the ring, that increases your armor class after shoving. You do not have to shove a creature. You can shove anything you want. So this is the downside of using the Potion of Speed. Lethargic, so lost the turn.
Swords meet sorcery.
And so then we have Gale. How many hit points has this guy got? 54. Gale's probably going to get targeted, and you might lose concentration on this next turn. But we're going to do everything we can to hurt this guy. This is why we use Hex and Scorching Ray. Got a critical hit, which made the Hex also do double damage. Doing pretty well. I'm going to try and get him out of the way, but I doubt we'll be able to. I use the bonus action, so I can't hide. So this is one danger of standing near the edge. This was fine, but the archer does have arrows of roaring thunder, which will knock you back. So he's not doing so well now, which is good. I'm going to fully rest after this fight, and I'd advise you do as well. So we just got a couple more abilities and this guy will go down. If I could hit. Right, she's now run out of level. This is a bit risky, but... No, 10 hit points. That was a bit disappointing from the second level spell slot. She is still concentrating. I'm now going to send Maisel as close as I can because she has the colour spray ring. Just. There we are. It's blind, so it won't be able to use the ranged attack so well. May as well use second wind. Let's see if Gale can finish this guy off. Unfortunately, Magic Missile won't actually make Hex work, but there's a chance it'll do 8 hit points. Oh, I said Path. I was too hasty there. Don't make the same mistake as me, please. Right, can I hit this guy with... I can. So, this should hopefully be the end. There we are. And anyone with a soldier background gets an inspiration point. Now, one of the slight upsides to the Githyanki Patrol being changed, being made more difficult, is they have a tiny bit more loot, I think. They've all got Githyanki half plate. They've all got +1 weapons. So let me know how you deal with the Githyanki Patrol. Maybe you use barrels, maybe you don't, maybe use something else. Let me know how you think how I did it. Am I a bit too cheesy using Flaming Sphere at the beginning? I think everyone thinks that their limit of cheese is probably... That's the limit, and anything past it is worse. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.